Yes, you saw that title correctly. World Rugby's Dream Team of the Year was not accurate. The reasons why is they were snubbing a few players from Tier 2 nations, and of course they were snubbing a fair few players from the winning team, South Africa. So for today's video, my name's Max, I'm the host over here at the Black Jersey, and a massive thank you to my patrons who got to see my team of the year early. This team of course is just my own opinion and everything, and just to let you know as well, these are the nations that this team will be made up of. Just the criteria as well, every forward in this list had to have a tackle percentage over 80, and you had to play a minimum of 5 games in 2023 to make this list, as World Rugby with their awards ceremonies do tends to be a bit different, eh? So to let you know as well, I have picked a bench for this team. I've gone with Piato Malvaka as the reserve hooker, Andrew Porter as the reserve loose head prop, Ben Tamiafuna as the reserve tight head. I've gone for Marcos Kramer as a lock 6 cover for jersey 19, as my starting lineup, it's got 2 open side flankers. For that same reason, I'm like, you know what, I don't need a third open side flanker on the bench. I'm going to have Kalen Doris covering at 8 and 6, since I've already got 2 open sides. My reserve halfback is Santiago Arata, Mrichi Mwonga is my reserve 10, and Darcy Graham is my other reserve back. I'm not going for a 6-2 split or anything funny like that. I just want you guys to know who has missed out and who's nearly been there. Righto, we're going to start off reverse. We're going to start off with the halfback. And that halfback, guys, well, I think a few of you are going to be quite surprised. It's Aaron Smith. The All Blacks performed a lot better at the Rugby World Cup than I was expecting, and so naturally, I'm going to show a fair bit of the bias. As I will say in tomorrow's video, Aaron Smith I don't think is going to go down as the greatest All Black halfback of all time, because he's had a bit of an inconsistent career, but what he has done, he's started out amazingly, and he's finished off amazingly. His running game, as we can see with these stats, it was far more present than it was in previous seasons. It was nice to see him get 6 tries from 11 games as well. That's a really good ratio for a halfback. While his tackle percentage isn't normally the best, he had actually kind of got up to like halfback standards with 76%. It was cool to see him get over the breakdown for 2 turnovers at the World Cup as well. Aaron Smith, one of the best passing halfbacks we've ever seen, is retiring at the top of his game, which is absolutely awesome to see. Now in the 10 jersey, I've got Romain Ntamack from France. While he sadly missed the Rugby World Cup due to injury, it was awesome to see him get his running game out of there for the Six Nations, ran 181 metres, beat 7 defenders and made 2 clean breaks off just 24 carries in his 2023 season, and he was absolutely bossing as well with 95 passes compared to 24 carries. This man knows how to unlock his side's attack, and he was doing that absolutely phenomenally. It was also good to see Ntamack, despite not being the biggest player, have an 84% tackle ratio as well, and of course get a man of the match performance against Wales. France really missed him at the Rugby World Cup, and they will be really hoping he doesn't take too long to recover from that absolutely horrible ACL injury. Before we get to the outside backs, I'm now going to show off my midfield, and that begins with Bundy Aki as the inside centre, the number 12. Bundy Aki had a phenomenal season, playing 740 minutes for the Irish, also getting himself 7 tries, getting 5 at the World Cup to be one of the top try scorers at that tournament. This guy beat at least one defender in every single game he played, beating 40 defenders off 126 carries. He's trying to make as many carries as he can, get front foot ball for the team. There's also the factor of Bundy Aki being an amazing kicker and the second to best distributor in his backline aside from Johnny Sexton, who has now retired. Aki's one of the best defensive centres in the world as well. The fact that he's such a great kicker and a great jackal threat, getting 5 turnovers in 2023, it's the main reason that Andy Farrell continues to pick him. He wants both a guy that can kick and a guy who can jackal to wear the number 12 jersey, and Bundy Aki is always a great answer for that. He got 2 man of the match performances at the World Cup and had an overall excellent world-class season, playing his best ever season for Ireland at 33 years old. Now at number 13, I think I'm going to surprise a few people by selecting Hugh Jones from Scotland. It was kind of, I guess 2023 was a year where I don't feel a lot of the guys at 13 really stood out because there were so many different things we were seeing from the 12 channel that the 13s just kind of had to sit back and enjoy the show. Hugh Jones, though, is probably the most well-rounded centre that played rugby in 2023. He ran plenty of metres with 540. He beat 27 defenders, made 6 clean breaks there off 71 carries, but his pass to carry ratio also very high with 53 passes and 11 offloads, while his defence, as we can see, absolutely solid with an 83% tackle ratio and 2 turnovers won as well. Hugh Jones is such a great attacking threat for Scotland because of his well-rounded nature that I've talked about. It's very, very beneficial for his team, and I love watching him in combination with Sione Tuipulotu, so that rounds out my midfield. Now as we get to the outside backs, I'm going to have Will Jordan on one wing and another player on the other, because Will Jordan had a world-class season as to be expected. Look at those running stats. Absolutely unstoppable with the ball in hand. This is the second season he's had as a professional athlete there, where he's got at least 10 tries in a calendar year. He got 8 tries at the Rugby World Cup to be the top try scorer of the tournament. One thing I've critiqued Jordan for in the past has been his defence, but in 2023, I think he finally became a world-class defender, getting a 90% tackle accuracy, while he was also player of the match against Australia in that first Bledisloe Cup test. But on the other wing, I have to have Damian Penaud. While I've moved Jordan over to 11 to accommodate for Penaud, that's for good reason. Penaud, as I'm going to say in tomorrow's video, I think he is the best player in the world. He ran over 800 metres, so the amount of metres he ran in 2023, it was nearly equal to the amount of minutes he played for France. He played the full 80 every single time he was selected for them. And most impressively, the 14 test tries he got in 2023, out of any player who isn't from New Zealand, this is the most tries scored in a calendar year in history. Damian Penaud is, simply put, the hardest player to tackle since Jonah Lomu. He made 25 clean breaks, beat 58 defenders off 84 carries, and for a winger, that is a hugely high pass to carry ratio. France have this strategy where they want to have a centre on the wing, and because Penaud played centre for so many of his early performances for them, well, the 50 passes and 11 offloads were easy. While a few people will look at that tackle technique, I think there probably is, room for taking it with a grain of salt, as France have a sliding defence strategy. While I think the 9 turnovers he won this year, that makes up for it. He got 2 man of the match performances this year and just had a phenomenal 2023 in general. He's just 3 tries away from being France's highest ever try scorer. He is going to do it at 27 years old. In at fullback, I've got Tomar Ramos, who is going to do the kicking since he normally kicks over Intermac anyway. As we can see, Ramos has a very, very high kick accuracy through these stats, while it was nice to see him get a drop goal over the Irish. He played 827 minutes for the French and, wowzers, 189 points scored. That's the 8th to most points scored by any player in a calendar year in history. Ramos also ran over 800 metres, getting very, very close to Penaud, and the fact that he didn't make too many tackles, I don't think we can probably read into that stat too much. His passing game, of course, we've got to congratulate him on that as well, always leaving the backfield to become an extra distributor. Tomar Ramos is world class. We're now just going to take a bit of an ad break before I show you guys my forward pack, and it's going to be a great forward pack. I hope you like the look of it. Forwards aren't always selected for their attacking stats, so don't be surprised to see them be a bit further down than the back line. Now that we get into the first forward of my pack, this is going to be Ox-Nchea of South Africa. They looked like they really badly missed him during the Rugby Championship, and he came back just in time for the World Cup. Though he normally wears the number 17 jersey for his country, that is because they want their best scrummager on at the end of the game to close it out, because they know they can trust him with winning a game-winning scrum penalty. Ox-Nchea also had a tackle ratio of 85% and 1-2 turnovers, so was always doing his job around the park. He wasn't just sitting on his bum waiting for the next scrum to begin. As he says, salads don't win scrums, but salads do help him get around the park very easily, and we see evidence of that. With 40 metres compared to 27 carries, he also ran more metres than he made carries, so there's definitely enough room to have Nchea in this lineup. There's going to be a bit of a South African look to this pack because, well, The South Africans won the World Cup in the type 5 forwards, so this is the area of my team where you're seeing all of the South Africans. Malcolm Marx only played a single game at the World Cup as he tore his ACL on training, but with 5 tests under his belt for 2023, he is indeed eligible for this team. Marx is an all-round player who's not very quick, but he's very powerful with ball in hand, as we can see from his 94 meters off 28 carries. As I've said in past videos, he's the king of the driving ball in that country, getting 3 tries for this year, while with his defence, it's a huge asset to any team he plays for. Malcolm Marx was a player that we really missed throughout the majority of that World Cup, but luckily he got to play in it and lift the Webb Ellis Cup for a second time. And with Oxen Chair as the loose head prop, well, it only makes sense that Weenie Antonio is the tight head prop. As soon as this guy came off against South Africa, Dorian Aldegheri got absolutely wrecked by Inchair. Weenie Antonio wins scrum penalty to the French. He wins them all the time, and of course he gets around the park despite being a guy that's 6'6" and 146 kg. Antonio got his only 2 test tries in his history as a French player for his national team this year, off 50 meters from 28 carries. While he does make a few passes every now and again, he's a bit more athletic than his frame would suggest. He also got an 84% tackle ratio and 1-2 turnovers, so he's a very good scrummager, but like Inchair, he's no slouch. That's why he's in the team. As we get to the locks, we have our 3rd South African within 4 jerseys. Evan Etzebeth is the best type 5 forward on the planet and well and truly deserved to get that nomination for World Rugby Player of the Year. Etzebeth knows the laws of the game so well, so he knows, right, I'm going to concede a penalty here to stop the opposition scoring 7. He's great at that. He's also very physical with ball in hand. He's always happy to run the grunting meters. He got 70 of them this year off 37 carries, and he also made 18 passes. He's a very good passer from that line out. His defense too, he never goes missing. He's always ready to make robust tackles at the fringes of the ruck, and he makes it very hard for opposing scrum halves and opposing forwards to make those pick and goes close to the line. Etzebeth's not really too much of a turnover threat because he's always making sure there's a hole there, allowing his teammates to get those turnovers. An excellent player this man is. Now, number 5, I've got Amato Fakatava, who was born in Tonga but plays for Japan. When I followed him on Instagram, I was like, oh, really good highlight reel. This guy's going to be a star. Every time Tonga named a squad, I was like, right, where the heck is he? Well, Japan have picked him, and they absolutely needed this guy big time. Amato Fakatava has brought a real edge to that pack up front in the liner in the scrum with the 6'5", 118 kg frame, really adding some power. But as we can see, he also runs a lot of meters for a lock. He ran 178 meters off just 39 carries, and with his ability to show his athleticism, he was able to get 5 tries from his first 7 tests. He made his Japan debut this year, and he was so effective for them. With a 90% tackle ratio, 3 turnovers won, and a man of the match performance against Chile, I'm sure we are going to see the 28-year-old continue to be a star of that Japanese pack for years to come. Now we have another South African player, Pieter-Steph du Toit. Man of the match in the World Cup final, runs a heck of a lot of meters with 219 off 66 carries, and wowzers. 800 minutes from 10 tests. This is a guy who regularly plays the full 80 despite South Africa preferring to keep a 6-2 bench split or a 7-1 bench split. This speaks to the fitness of this guy. He also made over 100 tackle attempts. He made a total of 157 attempts, and he still had an 82% tackle completion ratio. That's absolutely mammoth work for du Toit, considering back in 2021, not a single player, made over 100 tackles that season. Du Toit, not the most, jackal easy player like Etzebeth, but as I say, he is often the guy that you're going to find on the other fringe of that breakdown, with Dwayne Vermeulen, Quokka Smith, Sia Khaleesi, Malcolm Marx, always behind that ball ready to win turnovers, and with du Toit on one side of them, Etzebeth on the other side, the holes in the defence are always plugged. Du Toit also broke the record for most tackles made in a World Cup final, so thoroughly deserved that Player of the Match award at the World Cup final. I didn't have him in my team in the tournament because of the records Marcos Kramer broke, but ultimately, du Toit, I think, is the best 6 in the world. We now have Jack Morgan, the Welsh captain. He's not talked about enough, this guy. Name me an open side flanker who can kick the 50-22s. Name me an open side flanker that is so versatile as an attacking threat. I don't think you can name me one. Jack Morgan, simply put, saved his country. Look at all those attack stats. 200 meters off 61 carries, but 53 passes and 4 offloads. He's in there, he's in the breakdown, he's got a high tackle completion ratio with 89%, having a higher tackle accuracy than Peter Steph du Toit and 8 turnovers of the year. He got 2 man of the match performances as well, while he also played his first test match as the Welsh captain. This guy is their next inspirational leader in a long line of succession, and all of those stats I don't think even tell the full story of how good this guy truly is. And I think that's a pretty accurate quote for the final player on this list, the number 8, Ardie Savea. I've got this black jersey on for a reason. I support my country and their efforts in rugby. My username is named after it. And Ardie Savea, this guy, he embodies everything about why this black jersey is so special to us Kiwis. Ardie Savea ran nearly 500 meters. That is a huge number for a forward, considering they've often just got, 2 forwards behind them, ready to just take the ball straight into contact, but the way his legs keep driving allows him to just triple the count that other forwards are going to make in a tight carry. He also beat 42 defenders, including 27 at the Rugby World Cup, beating the record for defenders beaten by a forward in a single tournament of 126 carries as well. That was the amount of carries he made this season. He always wants the ball, he always wants to get his team on the front foot. He will do anything for this fern on the jersey. Savea also had a 93% tackle ratio and won 10 turnovers during the calendar year, also getting 3 man of the match performances. He had an absolutely epic season, and he is the best number 8 in the world for a reason. He deserved World Rugby Player of the Year after he got robbed last year, and wowzers, what a world-class player. Now guys, that is my team of the year for 2023. I hope you found it a lot better than World Rugby's dream team. Please comment your dream team down below in the comments section, and I'll tell you what I think if I have the time to read your comments while I'm on holiday. This is going to be the second to last video that I record for 2023, so it's been a huge year and I'm really thankful for all your support throughout the season. Once more, cheers to my patrons, and just remember, do like and subscribe. Cheers for watching the black jersey. I'll see you next time from Max.